All right, so it's day 22 of this project to build a personal clarity engine. And I'm using AI as this kind of mirror, to see how I actually think. And today that mirror showed me something a little unsettling. So this all kicked off the other day. I had this idea for an app just kind of rattling around in my head. And if I'm being honest, it was more of a feeling than a concrete plan. So I did what I always do now. I popped open an AI chat and just asked it to, flesh out the idea for me. And get this, in about 20 seconds, seriously less time than it takes to brew a coffee, it came back with a complete 10-page business plan. Not just a couple of ideas, I'm talking a full-on strategy document. I mean, it was wild. This thing had everything. A complete map of the market, super detailed user personas that felt like real people, a step-by-step product roadmap, it even had financial projections. I just felt this incredible jolt of productivity. The plan was so clear, so convincing, I was amped up and totally ready to start building. But then the reality check hit. I fired up my code editor, all pumped to bring this amazing vision to life, and nothing. I just sat there staring at this empty file with that blinking cursor just taunting me. I was completely frozen. Because in that moment, even with this perfect plan, I realized I had no idea what problem I was actually trying to solve. And when I actually looked back at the clock, I'd spent a solid 3 hours just generating these visions, just caught up in this amazing simulation of progress. But I had spent exactly 0 minutes doing the actual hard work of clarifying my own thinking. The simulation felt exactly like progress, but it wasn't. It was just a beautiful illusion. Okay, let's really break this down. I've started calling this pattern the Imagination Hijack. And man, it is a trap that I'm realizing I fall into all the time. It's this weird cognitive state where the outcome the AI generates is so vivid, so detailed, that my brain basically checks it off the list. It gets the satisfaction of progress without any of the hard work. It totally bypasses the need for critical thought, and even worse, it just kills my motivation to actually do anything. And here's the insidious part. It feels like I'm doing really important work. It feels like preparation, like I'm being strategic, like I'm a visionary. But what's really happening? It's just a very clever, very sophisticated way of avoiding the discomfort of not knowing. I'm hiding. And this is the loop right here. It all starts with that uncomfortable feeling of a vague idea. We don't like that feeling, so we feed it to an AI, which instantly spits back a clear, detailed future. Our brain loves that. It gets a nice dopamine hit from just anticipating success. And that's the trap. Motivation just tanks. Curiosity completely collapses. Why would you go explore when the AI has already given you a perfect map? And it turns out this isn't just a me problem or even an AI problem. This is a deeply human thing, and there's some fascinating science to back it up. AI it pours gasoline on the fire. So get this. For years, studies have shown that just fantasizing about success can actually sabotage you. It's called premature achievement. There's a 2012 study where women who vividly pictured themselves losing weight actually lost 24 pounds less than the group that didn't. And this is the key. Other research shows that simulating the process, the actual work, helps you, but simulating the outcome, the success, actually hurts you. And what does AI give us? The outcome, served up on a silver platter. And then there's the brain science of it all. Based on research from people like Robert Sapolsky, we know dopamine, the so-called motivation molecule, it's not about getting the reward, it's about the anticipation of the reward. It drives the wanting. And AI gives us this massive instant hit of anticipation, satisfying our brain's desire for a clear path forward without us having to take a single step. And if all that wasn't enough, here's the real kicker. A recent study just this year found that GPT-4 only produces valid executable plans about 12% of the time. But the plans feel right. They feel strategic because of something called processing fluency. Basically, because they're well written and easy to read, our brain just assumes they're correct. So we get a perfectly convincing plan that has an almost 90% chance of being total nonsense. Okay, so this is where the AI becomes that powerful mirror I was talking about. Because by looking back at my own chat logs, I can see the exact moments I start to check out, the exact moments I let the AI do the hard thinking for me. I've spotted 4 huge red flags in my own habits. First, asking the AI to elaborate on an idea before I've gotten clear on it myself. Second, A totally skewed prompt ratio where I'm asking, how do I build this? 10 times for every one time I ask, what problem am I solving? Third is what I'm calling flat depth dopamine. My prompts get more and more excited, but my actual understanding of the core problem stays completely flat. And the fourth, well, it's the most obvious one, the prompting gap. Hours of energetic prompting followed by dead silence. No action at all. So here's a little challenge for you. Go look at your last 10 AI chats. What's the ratio? How many prompts are asking for a big, shiny vision versus how many are trying to clarify one tiny nagging question? That ratio, it tells a really powerful story about whether you're using AI to think or to avoid thinking. You might be surprised by what you find. I know I was. So, okay, what's the real cost of all this? Because it's more than just a few wasted hours. It's much deeper than that. When I'm really, truly honest with myself, this whole pattern, this entire song and dance, it exists for one reason: to escape the brutal, intense discomfort of just not knowing. The proof is right there in my behavior. 3 hours generating roadmaps, 0 lines of code. That beautiful vision, it wasn't a launch pad, it was a hiding place. And the price you pay for that comfort, it's steep. At a neural level, every time I do this, I'm training my brain to seek easy answers and weakening the muscle I need to just sit with uncertainty. Psychologically, I'm just putting a fancy mask on my own confusion. And practically, it's the perfect formula for building the completely wrong thing with a ton of false confidence. So that 10-page vision, it wasn't preparation, not at all. It was anesthesia. It was just something to numb the pressure of having to face the one question I was trying so hard to avoid. What problem am I actually solving? Look, I have to be really clear here. This is me documenting the pattern while I'm still caught in it. This is not a story about how I solved the problem. This is a field report from inside the trap. I have not figured this out. I mean, just today, I caught myself. My fingers were literally typing out a prompt, asking the AI to help me visualize the full product, that old habit. But I stopped. I deleted it. And instead, I forced myself to ask a much harder, much smaller, and much more important question. What's the absolute smallest thing I can test right now? But I've got to tell you, that pull is still so strong. The big, detailed vision just feels so productive. And sitting with uncertainty, it just feels wasteful. My brain is screaming that I'm falling behind. Just knowing about the trap doesn't make you immune to the bait. So now, every time I go to use AI, I see it for what it is, a choice. It's a choice between real, gritty clarification and a beautiful, seductive simulation. And that's the question I'm left with tonight. The question this AI mirror is forcing me to look at. Is my imagination pushing me forward, or is it just protecting me from discomfort? I don't have the answer yet, but I'm going to keep asking the question.